Hi everyone, it's Penny Black and Jill Foster here with another PB&J card class. This is the third in a video series of 11 videos with the theme of Share Your Love and Sketch Designs. So here is a look at the sketch that we will be using today. I especially love this sketch because it feels like the die just does all the work for you. So this is a look at the sketch that we will be using today, and this features Penny Black's new I Heart You creative die. So I like to prep my basic sketch items in advance, as this helps me kind of move past any resistance I might have to getting started on making a card. So this is that I Heart You die. This is an awesome sized die. You can also use the inside heart piece, so save those. If you ever need a heart on a card, you've got one. But all of these cards are 4¼ by 5½ inches. So you will see here when I lay this on top of the card panel, the size of this die. It does all of the designing for you, and you can send an I love you card any time of year to someone to encourage them thinking of you on a birthday. Now this is our dashed design embossing folder, and I went ahead and embossed that and then just trimmed it into these nice little border strips to finish off that design. And if you look at that, once that sketch is prepped, you can put anything inside of that heart, go to your stash, fill that heart with whatever you want, and your card is complete. So really versatile sketch and a really versatile die. Now, this is just a reminder that for all of the sketches included in this Share Your Love video series, I have put together an ebook for you with a 2-page spread for each video. You can easily see the sketch and product ideas for getting started, as well as the cards featured in each video. So I'll put a link for that down in the YouTube description box below if you'd like to check it out and show your support. So in advance, I went ahead and stamped the things that I want to use to fill that heart. I reached into my stash for that. I also have some die cuts, so they also look beautiful inside of that heart as well. I'm going to do my painting using Sakura Koi Field Sketch Box and a couple of tube Arteza watercolors that I've just squeezed into that sketch box. And I've stamped these onto Canson 140-pound watercolor paper using Archival ink in the color of watering can. Just a really nice dark gray, but it's not quite as stark as a black, which I really like. And I'm going to do just a very simple watercoloring. This is a quick way to add color to your images. It gives them that like soft, playful, almost a storybook look, but it's really easy to do. So as you can see, I just put down a wash of the lightest color, and here I'm just grabbing a little bit darker brown, putting it down as that image is wet. I am not worried about this being perfect. I want it to have that very loose sort of storybook look to it. There are a couple of spots where I'll do it just a tad bit darker for some shading. Any areas that would be kind of tucked underneath or have like the arm hanging over the front, you can darken up. This can also be colored with Copics or colored pencils, whatever is your favorite way to color. But the images are really so darling and so well illustrated that whatever you use and whatever your skill level is, they're going to turn out really, really cute. So you can see I'm just putting down the darker color and then going back with my brush to blend it a little bit more. Now if you'd like to see more on my watercoloring in a little bit more detail, I'll put a link to a video down below where I walk through things much slower, some real-time painting for you, and I'll link that for you down below. But really on these, I just went very, very simple. And sometimes I think that's just the way to go, especially on these really whimsical, cute images. Now for this sketch, I wanted to show you all that you can really fill that heart with anything. So you're going to see I'm using teddy bears, I'm using a person, like a kid image, a hedgehog, as well as just florals. So lots of different directions that you can go with this sketch and this I Heart You die cut. And depending on what sentiment you put with that, it could be sending love on your birthday. You could put a more masculine design in there. So just really, really versatile and really fun. I like when you can just not have to think very hard and just enjoy the process and enjoy those items in your sketch or in your stash. I'm going to go ahead and color these flowers, and then I will notice there that I forgot his other arm. So I will get that, but I'll finish the flowers here. Also with the flowers, just leaving little bits of white here and there. No fancy shading required, just keeping with that storybook sort of whimsical look to that coloring. Adding a little bit of gray here. Now we'll get his little paw. And I'll have all of the supplies I'm using listed down in that YouTube description box below. The penny black supplies, stamps, dies, embossing folders, all of that will be listed and linked. And then there's another section that says other supplies where I list all of the other things I'm using. Ink, paints, paintbrush, paper, all of that is listed, including the colors used. So I'll just add a little bit more color here on these hearts. And then you can see I am working assembly line style, making 3 to 4 cards for each sketch. So you'll see 4 cards in today's video. I'll just show you the painting though on this one, or we'd be here all day. I also have some of my die cut pieces. I've just put them there on a piece of painter's tape, and that helps just hold them still while I'm painting. And then if I use my heat tool to dry them, it also is a way to hold on to them without them flying all over my desk. So I will paint those as well. So we're just mixing some colors on there. So here is what I have. I've painted and fussy cut or die cut out each element. I've grabbed some dies and I've also painted those as well. And I am going to use just a little bit of Memento Toffee Crunch ink to go around any of the fussy cut stamps because that will hide any imperfections in my cutting. Just give it a nice finished edge. And just lightly pat that Toffee Crunch ink over my painted die cuts, and I find that just kind of smooths out. It's really, really subtle, but it does kind of just smooth out the painting that is on there. Give it more of a unified look. And then we are ready to go to the I Heart You die cut. Now you could cut this from colored cardstock, you could cut it from glitter paper. I think that would be really pretty. I just cut it from that Canson 140-pound cold pressed watercolor paper, and I'm painting it. That way I can match it my colors much easier. So I find it's easier for me to just paint it to match my images than to try and go through colored cardstock and find the perfect match. But whatever works best for you and your process, you can do. But I thought I'd just show you here how I paint that to match up each of those images. And again, however you paint this, whatever color you choose, will give your card a little bit different feel. Here I'm just playing around with any inking I want. I'm going to use an ink blending tool and a foam pad, starting off the edge and working my way on. Just to add a little bit of inking down at the bottom to ground this. And then I'm going to ink over that dash design embossing. So that's that little strip that I cut. It makes a really great border strip. You could run that embossing folder through and cut a whole bunch of these and just have them out on your desk. And anytime you just need that little extra something, this is a really handy one. I love it. Now for a little extra depth, I'm going to glue this to another die cut piece. Foam squares are pretty hard to get, for me at least, on the back of these, and I do like a little extra dimension. So I find it's really easy just to have extra ones die cut and I can glue them on top. Also, if you've painted yours and it's curling up a little bit, if you used a lot of water, this will help flatten it out too. And you can see now that the card is starting to come together. I'm going to slide that bear in. Again, so fun. Not a lot of thought or decisions to be made. Just find a way to slide them into that heart. And that is going to just immediately have your whole card designed for you. I'm adding some liquid adhesive on the back, kind of sticking him also to that die cut so I can move it around as one piece. And I'll just add a little bit of foam adhesive up at the top of the bear, just so it's popped up a little bit. And then these, I especially loved being able to pull in some butterfly dies just to sort of balance out the entire card design. A couple spots I missed. So you can see with that heart, I have some elements going behind it, some on top of it. That's also a fun way to embellish it. And I will fiddle with it for much too long. And the card is complete. So here is a still shot of this card that we just made together in the video. And then I will show you the rest of the cards I created using this sketch. So again, really, really fun and lots of ways that you can use this. There's the one we just did. Here I've used it with this adorable little girl image. It just is like a hug in a card. What a great encouragement card that could be, or Valentine's Day. This little guy, I love when the hedgies are kind of reaching out their hands because then they can be holding a bouquet or flowers. And here I've just filled it with some beautiful springtime floral die cuts inside of that heart. Also, before you go, this is just a reminder that this video is part of a series of sketches created to help you bust through your stash. And if you'd like to see how I did all of my preparation and my setup for my stash and my sketch boxes, it's a really helpful system for actually getting in there and using what you love and what you have. I'll link to that video for you down in the YouTube description box below. Here's a look at the rest of those still shots of the cards that we created. This one up on screen right here happens to be my favorite. I'd love to know what is your favorite and what you would like to put inside of that heart on your card. Leave me a comment below. I read them all and I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video in this video series of Share Your Love sketches. Happy stamping!